program. It's not a scare straight program, but it's a reality-based program that shows these children what could happen to them if they get incarcerated. We've partnered with mothers of black boys. We would love to have more of these mentors come out. What we did would spark my interest just now, as you said, about training mentors. I'm going. I ain't coming. I'm going. I'm 51 years old. I'm going. I'm not coming. But what we do in this program, the RISK program, is we get 2 or 3 people that graduate from the program and come back to the next program and talk to these kids. We have one once a month, and we get 2 kids to come back and tell them how the RISK program has changed their lives. And that's what we got to do. We got to start training mentors. Most of us old schools, we're going, we're not coming. And that is the biggest problem for us. We're not training anyone. You know, I'm fortunate. I had a mother and father in the house, but a lot of us don't have that. So we got to start training mentors while they're small. Not when they get big and think we know everything, because we don't.
Go ahead, Bow Wow.
Now, we was just sitting here, you should grab the mic, and we both should talk about this. We was just sitting here talking about something that we didn't hear, and that's health. You know, the importance of health. And I was just sitting here while you was talking, I was like, this is my era, these are my people, so I understand what the problem is as well. We lazy. You know what I'm saying? We lazy. We got Instagram, and I know everybody's on Instagram. You can get caught up on there. We got Twitter, and what's happening is when you sit on it for them hours, that's hours out of the day you could have been outside being active. You sitting in the house, you eating, you're not doing that. Then you wonder why, you know, when it comes to Miller, our race, why we're the dominant figure as far as diabetes is concerned, why our health, why we always have to be the poster boys for bad health. When, like, once again, but that was something I wasn't hearing enough of as far as the importance of being active, being fit, getting out, so we make sure that we live a healthy and long life so we can see our kids grow up. You understand me? So I know that was something we was talking about, so.
You know, and that goes back to something Dr. Gaddis was saying. There are certain issues that we don't touch on, and I know with the Fatherhood Coalition, we try to create a holistic approach, and we often talk about, we have a component called men's health. We deal with why men won't go to the doctor, why we don't take care of ourselves, things of that nature. Because the black women are outliving us because we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not exercising, we're afraid to go to the doctor, and a lot of us, historically, there's some reasons why we do that, because we do a survey, and we found out they don't trust the system, but we've got to do this. We've got to take care of ourselves.
Paul Mooney. You all heard about Paul Mooney, right? You all know Paul Mooney has about to die of prostate cancer. You men afraid of somebody putting their finger up your rectum to check to make sure your prostate not on the line? Do you know that is one of the most preventable cancers there is? And black men won't go because they don't want somebody to examine their prostate? You should see your face when I said that. Yes, in order to get your prostate examined, the doctor has to put his finger in your rectum.
If y'all can see my man's face right here with the cell phones on.
That's the kind of, but see, that's that homophobia again. That's that nonsense. I just had my examination last week. All my blood work done, my prostate exam, and the insurance company called me and asked me if I got a pre-existing condition. And it happens every time I go get all of my blood work, and I say, give me the HIV too. Are you sure you're okay? I'm like, what do you mean am I sure I'm okay? This is something that I want to do so I can say I did it and tell other men, get the test, man. And I know the reason why you don't want to get the test, because you've been a freak. You know you've been out there freaking, and now you're like, oh my God, you start thinking about that stripper. I know. You're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that girl's name. But the thing you got to keep in mind is if you don't get tested, now you're hurting somebody else. See, that's the reason why I get tested, because I don't want to hurt somebody who's trusted me. They want to talk about solutions. I'm going to save mine for last. Let's go down the line and talk about it, starting from this end. Solutions.
I believe that parents are going to have to step up and be active. Mentors are going to have to step up, be active, and most importantly, be consistent in the life of a young man. The school systems are going to have to step up, be active, and do all that they can, go above and beyond the minimum requirements of your minimum job description to make sure that every child in your class is doing what he or she is supposed to do so that they will be successful. It's all about being consistent, And first of all, to the young men, you have to, and young women who are here, you have to be motivated. You have to want this for yourself. No one can make you do it. Consistency and self-motivation is the key.
Also in dealing with mentoring, we've got to we talked about being consistent, we talked about being true to it, but really understanding that that mentorship is a process. It's not you're going to meet with that child once or twice and everything's going to be fine. You're gonna go through some highs and lows. I have my mentee here. I've been with him for 9 years. We've had some good days, we've had some bad days, but just going through the process, being there, showing them. And men, we gotta realize, I think sometimes we talked about why some people don't mentor. You know, one of the questions that I pose is, are some people getting caught up in social economical status? Think that you have to have a certain type of status to be a mentor because you want that person to aspire to be maybe what people on this panel are. Mentorship is about values. My grandfather and my father, they had grade school and trade school educations respectively. But the values that they taught me, you know, far outweighed some values of some people who may be professors or whatever profession that, you know, you may aspire to be. A mentor is someone that has those values, that's going to teach you on the right path, keep those goals. So being consistent again with your mentorship, being true with it, and really having a true desire to help change.
Okay, one of the things, a few things that we need to do, especially for our young black males, we have to make sure that we're putting programs in place, starting from high school, that can assure that our young black males are going to be able to go to schools, HBCU specifically, that have programs in place to make sure that especially first generation young black males are going to be able to get out of school. That's the first thing. Provide mentorship as well as internships while they're there so they can see where education meets the road. Because that's the problem our kids see now. They don't understand where education and a future work hand in hand together. So we got to be able to show them where it does work. Okay? We also got to look at socioeconomic status as well. Empowerment. We're giving too much attention to trying to get a job, work for somebody else instead of working for self. And our communities go down. Because the black dollar only stays in our community a minute. So that means our communities go down because there's no money going into it, and our black businesses are going down. We used to have a thriving community in every state of black businesses, but when we assimilated instead of integrate, we lost everything. We got to get that back because there's no other culture or people that has less for its own community than the black culture. Okay, and we first have to understand what is culture for us in the first place, and that's another conversation. Because we're the only race of people that we're African Americans. We're not the Asians. You're not Asian Americans. You're not Hispanic Americans. You're not Mexican Americans. But only the African Americans is the only one that has two names to it. But that's something for you to think about. But we have to make sure that we have a path going into college or into some type of technical school, trade school, whatever it is, for our young men to go into and provide that type of support that they need in order to graduate, not just go, but graduate out of that system.